All right, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. And like I say every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From the eve after dark to concerts in the park, you see your boy Lonzo. This is how we do it every time we open this microphone. This is how we do it. This is what I got to say because that's it. Don't get no realer than that, folks. I'm expecting a very special guest today. Somebody who rocked with us back in the day. I don't think she's done any interviews. This might be one of her first ones. I know the first one with me. Uh, a person who made a big difference in the world-class wrecking crew. And this got an interesting story before and after the world-class wrecking crew. None other than Miss Mona Lisa, the female voice of world-class wrecking crew. All our songs, except for Turn Off the Lights, she was on. And that song was actually written for her, but we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. I'm glad y'all coming in real strong already. It's 10 people here already. We open on, but a minute already. I don't know what's happening with the algorithms, but boy, either your boy is getting popular or they didn't open the floodgates up on this, and I appreciate it. No matter what it is, I appreciate it. It's been a good week for the Godfather. Last night, I did my first show at the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Theater over in the Merck Park. And the show is called The Release Party Live. And it's a show that I do for my Roku channel, the Homegrown Media Network. And this show launches in January. But I had some of the most diverse artists, and nobody was talking about booties, bitches, blunts, bottles, or banging. I had artists from 12 years old to God knows how old. I had brothers with instruments, guitars, violins. I had singers. I had spoken word artists. I had rappers. I had a variety of talent, and everybody had something to say. Some things were about love. Some things were about the streets, but they all said it in a way that anybody can listen to it without having to cringe or having to look over their shoulder or whatever the case may be when you hear some of these new lyrics they have these days. But it was a great event. It was a great event. I would thank Barbara Morrison for allowing us to do it at her event. In fact, she loved it so much, she invited us back for January, which I will be back in January. If you have an artist or a friend, or if you are an artist that got something to say, I'm not gonna call it positive. I'm not gonna put that on it. Something different, something unique, something interesting. If you say it in a unique way, it could be a comedian. My whole thing right now is to create a platform that for another generation, for another artist with a different direction. We got plenty of booties, bottles, blunts, and banging going on. Can we get something different? And anybody that knows me know I love dealing with stuff that's different. So phone number is 424-256-9211, or go to my website, lonzowilliams.com. You see all the information and all that's going down while I'm waiting for Mona Lisa. Also, I want to thank my sponsors, Viscus.com, the vape pen company, my girl, Boss Moves, and my boys radio show, DJ L. I got to look it up in a few minutes. So I got to give them their love because they came through and supported us in a major way. Thank you for all my supporters, all my sponsors to make the event happen. And Mona Lisa just joined in. Let's see what she's talking about today. Well, I see her. I see the black screen. I see her name. Are you there, Mona? Mona. I got a whole bunch of black screen. Let's see what I'm gonna take her off the screen for a minute till she get it all together, folks. We're gonna continue this conversation until we see her in the dugout over here. Hey, folks, it's your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. I don't know whether y'all know it or not, but on Tuesday we hit an all-time high, 200 plus viewers on a one live stream. For us, that is fantastic. I don't know about nobody else. I ain't worried about nobody else, but for us, that is fantastic. Thank y'all for pushing the like button, the comment button, the share button, whatever y'all did to help us get those kind of numbers was much appreciated. And I'm gonna open the chat room up while she's over here getting herself together. And what's up, Cozy? What's up, Unc? Hope have a good day. Yes, it's a little rainy here, but we all right. I used to try to sing like her. Did you really? That's a hard one. What up, Madden Gamer, Rashad Cobbs? What up to you two folks? Oh, I got some folks I missed. I remember that name. Hey, Lonzo. Yes, Char Woody. She was a powerhouse of the 80s, 90s. Mona's been singing for a while. She's been singing with some of everybody. I mean, Wreckin Crew was just one of the people that I guess kind of featured her. She's had her own group. We're gonna talk about all that as soon as she gets on the line. I see she's coming in. I don't see the picture yet. I don't hear her yet. So I'm gonna let her figure out what she got to do so we can get this interview going. But we're not gonna unveil too much of her information just yet. But yeah, she is a powerhouse in the music community. She's worked with some of everybody. I went to her website, and I'm like, I didn't know she had worked with that many people. She's on a lot of music, on a lot of songs with some very powerful people. We'll talk about all that as soon as she gets here. But she stopped by the World Class Wrecking Crew in the 80s, and she sang on our song "Lovers," and that record paved the way for "Turn Off the Lights." And I thank her for it because she put her foot in it, and it was just amazing how this whole thing unfolded. So as soon as she gets here, and as soon as she gets it straightened out, we're gonna talk about that, folks. She coming, I see it. She's coming. She's in the building, but she ain't in the room yet. She in the building, but she's not quite in the room yet. What's up, Steve? Who else we got on deck today? Let me see. I don't know. That song originally was for, yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't know that song.
Mona Lisa joined.
Here she is. I think I see her. I think I see her face.
Okay, you gotta. I'm I'm sorry, Lons. I don't know what's going on, but I had to get on my phone
That's cool.
because my pad isn't working for me.
That's cool. It's working now.
Can you hear me?
I hear you fine, baby. How you doing?
Huh?
I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, well, barely. I can barely hear you.
You got some headphones around there?
Huh?
You got some headphones around there?
Some headphones? Yeah.
That might help you a little bit.
I can solve that problem. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see if that will work.
There you go. One then. About to get this party started, folks. How they working for you? That working for you better, baby? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, I can.
There you go.
Yes.
That's all we gotta do is hold that camera still. You good to go. Looking good, girl. How you doing today?
Okay. I'm wonderful. I'm good.
They already lighting the chat room up about that look you got there. I like that.
What?
You've always
Thank you.
You always had your own style when it came to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You've always been.
I've always.
Now, Mona,
I'm losing you.
How you losing me? You know what?
Okay.
All
right, I'm here.
Okay, good. Now, Mona, I had to go to your website. I don't know why I lost that picture you sent me and grab another picture off your website, but I didn't realize you work with so many people in the industry.
Yeah.
Your voice is everywhere.
Definitely.
So, I mean, you have an agent that books you, or it's just people word of mouth? Like, that's how we met, through word of mouth.
God. Just word of mouth. Word of mouth all these years.
Now,
all
Mona,
these years, word of mouth.
Arabian Prince, folks. Mona has sang with Bobby, Jimmy, and the Critters. I said I was telling them how I met you through Arabian Prince. You had did some songs with Bobby, Jimmy, and the Critters. I think it was Russ Parr or Arabian Prince or somebody. And
I thought it was Donovan, the engineer,
that turned me on to you. No,
I think so.
I remember Arabian Prince telling me about this female he had met that could sing something like an angel, and she had another asset that was so beautiful. I had to meet her just on the strength.
Cut it out. Yeah, well, it might have been,
See, Mona is not only a great singer. Mona has been blessed in various ways, and I'll never forget. We were on an airplane going to England. It was us, Grandmaster Flash, Furious Five, Africa Bambaataa, Sir Mix-a-Lot. We was all on the same plane, and Mona was the only female in the whole
Yeah.
all the whole tour. And she got up to go to the bathroom, and she was knocking over trays as she was coming through. I know.
Cut it out.
Everybody stood up.
I've had a problem all my life.
She made the whole trip. Okay, she made the whole trip. So how you doing, Mona? Talk to me, baby.
I'm doing good. My day has been kind of it's every day is wonderful, but a producer friend of mine just passed away, and he brought over Rick Springfield, Air Supply, of which I sang on the A Lot of Love song,
Okay.
He also produced the Queen of Pop. She's just the reigning Queen of Pop, Marsha Hines, in Australia forever. I don't care who comes along. She's still, so his name is Robbie Porter, and he kind of, he passed away yesterday. So just, other than that, I'm good. I'm just trying to process that, but I know God's got him.
Have you ever sit down and thought about how many songs you're actually on in your career?
No.
Because I saw you work with Barry White.
I'm still searching.
You're still searching? Okay. That's interesting.
I'm still searching for songs to get paid from.
Now,
I did work with Barry on a...
Go ahead.
Say that again?
No, go ahead.
I said I did work with Barry, and before he came and worked with me on my album. Okay. And that was through Ollie Brown, the producer, who I never asked, but I know it was Ollie because he knows he has worked with everybody from Stevie on down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's the biggest name that you could
be? Ollie and Jerry.
What's the biggest name? Who's the biggest name that you worked with that you can recall?
That I worked with?
Yeah. The biggest name.
Recording.
Black or white, don't make no difference.
Yeah, I'd have to say Bob Dylan, I guess you would say.
All right. Now, some of y'all might know who Bob
Dylan is.
Bob Dylan's huge in the rock and roll community. Huge. And he had some big hits, and Mona was right there with him back in the day. You toured with Bob Dylan for a while too, right?
Yes. We were actually his opening act, and we didn't know it. He kind of just, he's very matter of fact. He doesn't announce what he's doing. He doesn't say how he's doing it. He just does it. And he just said, I want you guys to sing some gospel songs. Okay. And that's how it happened, so we would open the show.
Interesting.
Yeah, just like that.
Now, I know I'm going to ask you this question. Of all the people you toured with, which one was your favorite?
Uh-oh. Why you don't put me on spotlight? But you know what? The Crew has been a favorite of mine because it was more, I've done a lot of pop, like pop crossover. And it was the closest to what I really wanted to do, which was like the R&B kind of feel. I don't know, people have always lent my voice to a lot of pop, and that's partly my fault. But if you don't know really to fight for what you want, through the years, I never was very, selective of material. I was and I wasn't. In other words, artists like Prince or people that really, actually, really can pin their area. I couldn't because I had done so much. And it wasn't so much the songs, but how can I say, they couldn't match me with my voice. Does that make sense?
No, what that mean? What you mean by that?
Well, I guess being a chameleon, which I am, I know it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I sang the British Airways commercial, you would never know that it was me. And
Wow.
also re-recorded it for Yanni's Grammy-nominated Dare to Dream album. It's a song called Aria, and I'm singing opera. So, it's like you never know what's going to hit. I was so much in demand for placing songs for writers too. So I kind of lost myself. I guess you could say that too. Although I grew up, just like most people on Motown and all the R&B stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
When opportunity knocks, you just take it,
Right.
when you don't have, um, it's a creative control thing, I guess you could say too. But if you don't, if it's a step up, you keep taking a step up,
Right.
you don't turn things down because, oh, I don't want to sing that, good songs, don't get me wrong. The writers have won Grammys, for different songs from Whitney Houston to whoever, that I've worked with, that did write some songs for my quality album.
Okay.
So they're great songs, but it's, the marketing thing is a big thing too.
Right.
So it was said, she doesn't look like her voice.
Mm.
So, when it came to the crew, you see what I'm saying? So when it came to the crew, it was a niche that I had never been able to really put on record, you know,
Okay.
to record, more so, uh, even though it's hip hop, but with R&B, of course,
Right.
R&B flavor, which lovers had.
Right.
So it was exciting hearing us on KJLH
You know,
all day. It was exciting.
we had a lot of fun on the road. You guys, if you've never been on the road doing a tour, I mean, and even nowadays, I don't think these guys will have as much fun. Yeah, they probably have a lot more conveniences than we had. We didn't. We toured back in the day. If you was in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi on a Sunday, you pretty much had nothing to do. You was waiting to go to bed so you can catch your airplane first thing in the morning. But we had
Yeah.
other fun. I mean, just being out there, and it was kind of a premature situation. I mean, a primitive situation on one end, but it was so new to us. It was a ball on the other, and it just made for some hell of a time. But even when I think about the crazy stuff that we used to do in the van, the sound check, remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it was crazy because I mean, I'm talking about Dre, I'm talking about Yella, myself, and Shakespeare, because Clientele didn't go with us at this time. And Mona, she was the only female in the bus, and she didn't take no shit from nobody. And hey, y'all got to roll the window down or something. Y'all can't just do me like that.
But you know what? And Dre and Yella would be in the back. I remember one time they were in the back and they just kicked the legs up, just kicked the window open. Sound check, boom. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Was somebody had a fart, and you eating on the road, eating that to go food, that fast food. You got gas all the time, and we traveled in the van, flying to a city and traveling the van to the next city, and we spent a lot of time up under each other, boys. So it was really, 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 really rough sometimes, and sometimes everybody.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was horrible. In the world.
Yeah, talking about Waffle Houses, huh?
I think One of the crazy stories that me and Mona got when it was we had one of our first tours. We had messed around in the bus was horrible. The bus broke down a couple times, and we missed a gig. We were supposed to be in Mississippi. We left here 4 days ahead of time, and the bus broke down to Arizona. The air conditioning went out in Arizona. There was 110 on the bus. Got to Vegas. We got to Texas, and the brakes went out. So they gave us another bus, but we got to Mississippi a day late. And folks that was working our record in Mississippi had called us, and we called and check on what happened. And they said that the DJ was on the radio station dogging World Class Wrecking Crew. We missed that show. And
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I'm gonna make you remember what happened. Okay. So now
you remember everything. Okay.
I tell you stories all the time. Man,
I know.
He was pissed at me because I'm the leader of the group and I own the label. He double mad at my ass.
Yeah.
And Boss Hall.
Yeah.
Boss Hall, Randy Rand, our manager, went to the radio station and tried to smooth it over. And I think he came back. No, me and him went in there first. And we wouldn't try. He didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want him and I got to say. And Mona put on one of her cat suits and walked in there. all the assets flowing, and everything was okay. You remember that? You walked in the radio station.
Yeah.
It was. Let me say here. I can't call it a pimp move, but it was a pimpish type move. I'm like, Mona, go talk to this guy. He need to pull all our records, not play us ever again. And she wouldn't talk to him. Just talk to him and explain to him it wasn't our fault, blah, blah, blah. He sit there like a big old kid. Okay.
Yeah, I probably purred a bit. I don't even remember what I said,
You didn't have to say nothing. When you walked in the room and he just got a good look, with nothing else to be said, his brains and all whatever you wanted, he would have gave to you. Okay. And I'm a team player like that. Okay. Now, we never talked about this, but I think we're going to talk about it this time.
Okay.
The biggest hit we ever had, Turn Off the Lights, was written with you. Okay. Yeah. I knew Michelet. I did not plan on, had no intentions. The only person I wrote for when it came to female songs was for you. The only person I wrote. And anytime I wrote a song with a female part, I always had you in mind.
Yeah, because I did everything.
Huh?
Yeah. I did do everything except for that one.
You did the first album. You did all the CBS album. You did the whole thing.
There Must Be the Music. I didn't even know that it was just me. Well, it was under World Class Wrecking Crew, but remember Must Be the Music too.
Yeah.
You know that song? Yeah, everything.
And when we got to do Turn Off the Lights, I called you, and you said you was in Connecticut with Kashif, working with Kashif.
He's trying to keep me there.
And I'd already booked the studio, and I had to go, and I had to go find somebody quick. That's how sometimes that's how I operate, and it could work out. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. And I had no idea the record was going to be what it was. I often wonder, would hip hop would have been different if you just sang that song with us? Because you've always been loyal to me. You've always been loyal to me.
Right.
We've always been loyal to each other. We've been friends forever. And are you understanding the game a lot better? How that would have affected hip hop? I wonder. I mean, I think about that sometimes because that was a cornerstone. That was a big record for us, but it was the launching pad for her. And that might have been the same thing for you because you had a little bit more experience. I don't know if you did a better job on it. Or, sometimes you never know whether it was the song and the singer or a combination of both or just the singer that made the song or made the singer. Same thing with Dolly Parton and I Will Always Love You. Dolly Parton sang it, but Whitney Houston made it her own. You know what I'm saying? And I often wonder how
Yeah, but you guys, I don't know. You guys kind of with the writing, you got into the women, you know.
that was
So that was a plus. That was your home run right there.
that was
So July was basically patterned after Lovers, although it
right.
was not absolutely not the same. It was totally different, but it was the same format. So, I'd have to say that when you write something, some songs anybody could sing, you know what I mean? And that's not to put Miss Chalet down,
Mhm.
but the format was there and it laid out, and then her voice was powerful enough to conquer, you know? So I have to give you credit for that. You know what I mean? So even if it was sang soft, I
Right.
think that the lyrics and the writing was what women wanted to say,
Mhm.
you know? Yeah. And it was so, it wasn't as coarse as things are. I don't want to put nothing down, but things are real blatant now,
Right.
So
Right.
it was very romantic. Both songs were very romantic.
Well, I'm a
But
romantic.
everybody loves romance.
I'm just a romantic type. What can I tell you?
I know you from the old school, and that's good because guess what? Everybody launches off of the old
I'm
school.
six dramatic. I'm the
You got to
fifth.
have a platform.
Huh?
Yeah,
The fifth
I
temptation.
hear you.
So
The fifth temptation. Oh, hold, hold on, hold
go
on
ahead.
1 second. We are not going to disconnect it. I refuse.
We are live
I've
in
had so many issues.
female voice of
Hold
world
on.
class wrecking crew, and so many other songs, folks. Her discography is huge. You know, she got a lot of recognition from world class wrecking crew, but she was behind some huge songs in her era. She still sings on a regular basis. That's what she does, and she made a lot of people sound extra good. And we're gonna talk about her solo career as soon as she gets back.
I'm sorry,
Um,
Lance. Okay, there we go. Because I didn't want to lose you.
take your
My
time, baby.
battery was low.
I've been waiting for
Okay,
this
I'm
interview for a
here.
long time. I ain't going nowhere. All right, there you go. Now,
Yeah.
what we were just talking. I mean, I wonder how it would have affected. You never know about things like that. That one song could have been the fork in the road that could have changed Crew Cut, or it built Ruthless, but it could have changed Crew Cut. So it is what it is. I just have to you know we'll never know. We'll never know.
Well, what I do regret is not signing with you guys with CBS.
Yeah.
When you asked me, hey, baby, you want to sign with us? And it was like you didn't even try to convince me.
I, I thought it should have been a slam dunk. So I don't know why I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I can't even tell you. It's like sometimes you don't want to be tied to something. I had been in several groups,
Right.
that was successful, but I don't know. I can't tell you. I wasn't scared. I was just um, hmm, I didn't have my deciding partner. We had separated, so I couldn't really, make that decision on my own,
Okay.
I would say that. I didn't know how important it could have been,
Hmm.
because if even though I was on the back of the album, I could have been on the front of
Right.
the album. But I would have loved to. I mean, Larkin Arnold is someone that I've heard of for years,
Right.
and I just didn't process it right, but I regret that
Hmm.
because that could have done a lot of things too.
All right.
That could have done a lot of things.
One thing about him, I talked to Janet from Taste of Honey one time. She said Larkin made sure they got their publishing. Okay. When they came, they were
Yeah.
their executive producer. Also, he made sure they got their publishing. He made sure
Yeah.
my public. He made sure everybody was taken care of. He didn't believe in ripping.
Yeah.
So that was something I was commendable when it came to
Mhm.
him. But again, I'd heard his name for years. I thought it was two people,
Yeah.
Gamble and Huff. I don't know. I thought it was
Mhm.
Arnold. Okay, and
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I met him. Realized it was one person. I'm like, damn, it's one dude. Super cool dude. And I haven't talked to him in about a year or so. Well, I talked to him right before COVID, but he still takes
Mhm.
my phone calls right to this day. He still takes my call
Oh,
right to this day.
all right.
I,
Yeah.
I said, Larkin,
Yeah.
I said, he was a part of, I think he managed Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis for a while and some other folks and Sherelle, Alexander O'Neal. He had been involved in a lot of careers. He was the one that brought Marvin Gaye from Motown to to CBS. He signed Tina Marie, Rick James, Frankie Beverly and Mays. When I looked at his discography of all the groups he had executive produced, I was
Yeah.
proud to be in that list. Okay. I was
Yeah.
I was proud to be in that list because there's a lot of people that I had a lot of respect for. And when I talked to him, I asked him who was he. I said, "Who are you managing now?" He said, "Lonzo, I don't manage that now. That's all I manage is my money." I said, "Mr. Larkin, I'm not mad at you, Doc. That's the hell of a
That is so
mistake,
cool.
huh?" You
That
know,
is so cool.
I don't know what his royalty rate was, but I remember one time we were sitting in our CBS. He had just got one of the Michael Jackson checks. That's something gonna have some zeros on it. I got dizzy. But that's the kind of people I grew up with. And I tell cats
Yeah.
when we were doing our thing, I'm hanging out with Gerald Busby. I knew Gerald Busby personally. I knew Larkin Arnold. And these guys are talking about Clarence Avant like he's a god. I met Clarence. I was in his presence a couple of times, but I didn't really
He
talk.
came
I didn't know him.
he
Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I didn't know who he was, because I did a lot of work in Motown.
Okay.
And I remember when I was doing my album there, he would come in, he and Hal Davis, Hal Davis was a producer, but I didn't know who he was.
Right. But
I
he was
didn't know who he was.
one of them low key dudes, real smooth, late,
Very low key.
low key,
Yeah.
But his name rang bells, though. I mean, his name rang
Hmm.
serious bells. And this is the era that I grew up in. And I tell people it's real hard for somebody to tell you grew up you grew up being a Boy Scout. All of a sudden you're gonna become a Crip or a Blood. You don't make that transition that easy. It's not that easy to make that transition. I've been a Boy Scout all my life, so how am I gonna do?
Yeah.
That's how I related. Being a Boy Scout
Right.
in June, in July you gonna become a gangster. No, I mean it don't work that way for me.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when you raise around cats who made a whole lot of money by not being by doing things halfway, doing things right. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't regret. I don't regret any of my career. Uh, it is what it is, babe. What you doing these days, Mona?
You know what? I've been working with this girl named Kennedy. She's a new artist. Joel Diamond, who has produced everyone in pop world, I would say. Well, he's done so much, from Engelbert Humperdinck to uh, little teenagers, and he's been working a deal for her. So I basically co-produce a vocal,
Okay,
with her,
okay,
make sure she puts it on tape right. I've done this maybe 7 different projects, not specifically with Joe,
hmm
couple with some other artists. I've been doing that, and then I'm gonna work, just do a little something, something, early later this week,
okay.
with a friend of mine from the past, who's trying
Oh,
to get a gospel album out
how Terry
there.
doing?
Huh?
Who's that, Terry?
No, not Terry.
Okay,
Terry's doing his own thing. Terry's been doing really good. He's been working with Lou Adler,
okay,
who Lou Adler, gosh, he produced the Carole King record
okay,
back in the 70s.
okay.
Some big hits came off of that. And gosh, he's produced so many rock and rollers. And Terry did a project with him previously, like in the 90s, with my child too. Was in it, you know, my girl Charity,
She's
called
right.
yeah, called All God's Children. So that's where he hooked up with Lou Adler, and now he just did an album on Mary Clayton, a gospel album.
Okay, now, Mona,
So he's doing good.
if
I'm
you
sorry, the lights went out.
if a young lady
Can you see me?
came to you right now and says, Mona Lisa, how would I want to be a background singer? What would you tell her to do?
If someone came to me and said that,
Yeah, she wants to be a background singer. What would you recommend her? You recommend for them to do? How would they get into that situation?
um, that's a hard one because my mother got me in.
Did she?
Yeah, my mother's one of the first Black classically trained opera singers.
Okay.
And she was with Chapel Records even before her opera career. She did some gospel there. She used to broadcast live on KTYM, and she signed with BG Records and did a beautiful gospel album. And actually, the girls that I started with sang background on my mom's album.
Okay. Okay.
How you like that?
That's crazy.
And yeah, isn't that something? And
Wow.
it's really a word of mouth thing. It's a word of mouth thing and standing on your talent, you know?
So
There's no specific way.
okay. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because
Yeah,
I didn't know there a union. That's a bad. You're in the union, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
SAG
right.
after, yeah. Hmm.
So I got a question for you. How the union? I've been a part of the union for a brief minute, but
Yeah,
like there's minimum fees in the studio, right? Did,
yeah.
have they increased over the last 6 months, like everything else, or they still pretty much the same they were a few months ago, pre-COVID?
Well, these they increase as the years go by.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all
I
right,
haven't done much union lately, but uh, they increase just
okay,
like everything else.
okay,
They do, yeah.
okay,
Yeah, so does your pension and stuff. That increases too. The
okay,
more you work, the more you get paid.
okay. I'm not mad
You
at you.
know, yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Well,
I
Mona,
mean, it
anything
can
you want to share?
be,
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Anything you want to share with us before we wrap this interview up?
Anything I want to share?
Yeah. Well, your website,
Um,
uh, Instagram, website
well,
information.
I'm at MonaLisaYoung.com.
Okay.
And there's a huge, like you said, you visited my website. My little brother, I call him my little brother, although we're not the same nomination. We're not, you know, but
He
he's my little brother and he created it for me.
great job.
Yeah.
He did a great job. He did a fantastic job. Well, baby, we're gonna wrap up right quick, and I thank you for taking the time out to talk to us and keeping us abreast of what you got going on. You're looking fabulous as always, and I'm glad you're here. Keep on singing, and hopefully, because actually, and truthfully, I now that I think about it, me, clientele, and Yella have been talking, and Battle Cat. Battle Cat is blowing up big time. He was with us on the last tour. He's been blowing up big time. Your vocals went out. I can't hear you. Hello. You went away, babe. I see your mouth moving, but it ain't coming out. Something happened. We were just about to wrap up too. I don't hear nothing. All right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, baby. Don't worry about it. Can you hear me? Okay, but I can't hear you. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this before we go. Battle Cat is myself, Yella, clientele have been talking, and Battle Clap, we had to have some conversations. And now I think about it, I'm gonna have to bring you up in the conversation. We may have to do a Wreckin crew a reunion -1, because one ain't coming back nowhere, but that's all right. We got 3 out of 4. That's enough to get the job done. So I will keep you posted. Thank you for coming on the show today, baby. I appreciate it. You're looking beautiful. Happy holidays to you and your folks, your grandbabies, to our Charity. I said hello. In the meantime, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and I'm about to wrap this show up. It's a Thursday, y'all. Check out my Roku channel on the Homegrown Media Network on Roku. It's up and running right now, folks. Check out some of these hot shows I've done here. In the meantime, from the East Coast to the West Coast and everything between, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, from Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. This is how we do it, folks. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. I'll see y'all Tuesday, God willing. Peace. We're out of here, y'all.